Amazing. So one final question. I know this is a deep one. I know both of you will have perspectives on this, which is sometimes you got to feel it before you can become that agent of change, right? In this environment, right, where you're trying to change culture, and if your people are not working for H&R Block, but there's an individual who feels that he or she needs to make a change, how do you embrace your colleagues so that they are part of the journey and they feel that this is not just a checkbox item? Because I know that's a red hot topic right now, which is, hey, you have a person of color, you have women on the board, and hey, we are diverse. No, that's not diverse. That's like checking the box so that you're not getting litigated, right? So how do people at a company which is not like H&R Block, doesn't have the culture yet, how do they instigate that change? Again, open question to both of you.
I think one of the best ways to do that, to Josh's point, is to kind of be the change. Because one of the things that happens when you are the change, especially when you get that diversity of thought, the different approach to ideas, the different perspectives that brings, it brings success with it. And I don't care what your thoughts are on diversity. Most people in corporate America want to be successful. And if they see your team having success, they're going to follow suit. So it goes back to leading by example. I mean, you can't say you want diversity and then just either give lip service when, it's obvious it's lip service, or when you're not actually taking advantage of that diversity. I mean, having diversity and not taking advantage of it should be criminal, because the amount of other ideas you get, and I don't even just mean the traditional diversity. Somebody who grew up on the streets has a totally different perspective than somebody who grew up in a wealthy family. We've hired two folks from the law enforcement, one of which had no cyber background, who have been phenomenal additions to the team because they look at problems more from that law enforcement background, a little bit more of an investigative mindset versus a more IT mindset. The more thought you have, the better you're going to do. And the better you're going to do, the more everybody else is going to want to be like you. And that might be the backdoor way to bring it to fruition.
I think that's a great viewpoint, Carraig. And I think I would say two things here, Ashwin. I think one is, not to recycle something we already talked about, but I think paying attention to the gatekeeping aspect and making sure that your application process is as inclusive as it can be. Because again, if you don't get the applicants, you're not going to be able to get people on your team, right? I think the outcome-based approach that Carraig pointed out is absolutely critical, because the more diverse a group of mindsets you have, the better you're going to be at solving problems together. And I think I heard this phrase the other day, and it was something that really stuck with me. So it's not my idea at all. I don't want to lay any claim to this, but we talk about mentorships, but there's a step above that, which is sponsorships, and sponsoring someone for development, for growth, implies more of a personal stake rather than just, I'm going to tell you stuff and you learn, or you watch me and do like I do. If you sponsor someone, you're taking a personal interest in that person and helping them. Before I moved to Kansas City, I was involved with a group in St. Louis that did that quite a bit, and even reached into like the local high school level. I would love to see more of that, because for us to really change the future of what the marketplace looks like, what our teams look like, we have to be starting sooner. And it was such a great experience to see those high school students who had 99% of them, I think, had never even considered cybersecurity as being something they would do, right? They certainly didn't have a cybersecurity program in their high school. And yet, walking them through a capture the flag exercise, talking about the state of cybersecurity, popping up a few news stories that they'd probably heard about but hadn't really processed. Those are those early triggers that can make a switch in somebody's mentality. And then, for the right people, the people that are hungry, that are excited to learn, that are passionate, those are the people that we're going to drive into that pipeline. And I think, again, we have to be the ones who make this change. We have to make the extra effort right now.
Wow, great conversation. Again, I know both of you are leading the way, and I'm so honored and impressed and grateful for having this conversation. And hopefully the idea over here is to publish this, not so much to kind of talk about our journeys, but so others can learn, right? And they can adapt it in their own workplace and ultimately be that agent of change. So again, thank you for your time. Joshua, thank you for your time, Carraig.
Ashwin, absolutely my pleasure.
Thank you.